past the hour, so that's when the session starts. My name is Georgi Kodinov. I'm going to speak about secure deployment changes in MySQL 5.7. So MySQL 5.7 is our current development release. We are looking to release it to general public pretty soon. It may be relevant to some future versions of OpenSUSE and, well, working with MySQL in general. So a little bit about me. Those of you that haven't been in the last two OpenSUSE conferences, I'm a former banking IT manager. I switched to programming quite some time ago, and then I'm currently, well, I joined the MySQL team in 2006 when it was a little Swedish company. Now I'm leading the MySQL Server General Development team, and I enjoy speaking to people. So I visit some of the MySQL conferences. What we do in this team is security and monitoring and, well, partly the client-server protocol. So security is kind of my specialty in MySQL. Okay, so the agenda is pretty simple. I will demonstrate the recent thinking that we have around MySQL deployment and what it means that it is secure. And then I will try to enumerate some of the changes that we did to support that. So can you please raise your hand if you ever installed the MySQL server on your own without the help of the distribution? Nobody? Okay. Thank you. So I will not going to go in a lot of technical details, then just the basics. Recent trends in secure MySQL deployment. So first we try to make the server secure by default. The MySQL server was this developer toy/tool that was installed in such a way that anybody can actually, well, start poking with it immediately and without any restriction whatsoever. This obviously is not a very good idea, as the previous speaker mentioned. A good software should only do whatever it is intended and no more than that. So we are looking to help the novice user. So basically, when you install a MySQL server, you won't make the common mistakes that will put you in a registry of widely open MySQL instances available over the net. There is that registry in the dark web. It is pretty extensive. And also, people, when they want to remove some of the security constraints, they need to do so explicitly. This will give you a good understanding, because whenever you, well, change the configuration, this means that at least you know that there is such a configuration and what it does. So it will kind of gradually increase your security awareness when you get to edit the configuration yourself. So that's what we want to do and why we want to do it. So here's how. MySQL Secure Installation was a tool that you are supposed to run after you install your server and before going into production. We are aiming to remove that additional step. So no more needing to do something extra when you want to secure your server. We want it to be secure by default. We also aimed at providing a single account inside the databases that we create with a random and password that is marked as expired. So you need to change it at the next login. This is a great deviation from what we have now in, say, 5.6, for example. where you get like a number of root accounts, some test account too, and all these additional facilities that would make your developer's life easier, but will leave the server wide open, basically. We also aim to enforce password strength by default. We have a special tool now in the server to actually verify a password policy of your choosing, and we've chosen a common one that can include verifying passwords against dictionaries, so you avoid well, common passwords. And also we try to put SSL in good use whenever it's possible. So you need a special reason to disable SSL now, which is a bit of a departure from what we used to do. Basically, we were letting SSL as an option for those that need it. And, well, obviously, people not realizing that they need it were just leaving it out and generating unencrypted traffic over the network. So we aim at helping people to run SSL with the MySQL client-server protocol. It has that option built in, so you don't need additional tools to encrypt your traffic. And we also provide self-signed key material if you need it. And that is generated on each computer. It's not prepackaged, so there's no default certificate or key or whatever. It's generated right on the spot. And we also want to control some popular mistakes in the MySQL installation. So for example, the MySQL server was configured in such a way that using a single SQL command, you can write a file to the file system anywhere where the operating system would allow it. No restriction whatsoever. That was, well, not a good idea. So now this is, we have had, of course, an option to disable that, but that option was not turned on by default, and that was causing problems with the default installation. So that's fixed now. I'm really happy to say that it is fixed in 5.7. And we also have the notion of development and production installations and packages. We harden the most popular packages, like the RPM packages, the Debian packages, all these packages that people, novice users will probably use. And we leave the specialist packages, like the TarGZ, for example, to people that well, want to play with them. So we call these development packages. I mentioned already that we package stuff in a secure way, so we are careful with how we use OS permissions and accounts. We, of course, the server would create a user account for it to run us. But this user account now, we basically reviewed all the files in the installation and made sure that you get no extra privileges on any of those files to this new OS account that is needed, or to any of the existing ones. We also removed all the demo and test and example files. Before that, well, basically MySQL came as a single package, and it contained test definitions for you to run your tests. And it also contained demonstration databases, and especially, but it contained a lot of test plugins for authentication. So if you have somehow SQL privilege access, you can change the authentication method to something that is not really authentication and impersonate pretty much any user of the MySQL server. So that's not possible anymore. We keep them in a separate package. So if you need to run tests, you install that additional package and you run your tests, but then you would know that you have test material installed. Right. Okay, so individual changes in 5.7. Again, the biggest change that you will encounter when you install the server is that it will just have a single user account installed into it. It's fully implemented in the first release candidate of 5.7 that was released some few months ago. And there's no more multiple root accounts. Because the server supports one authentication when you basically want to turn on off host name resolution and use IP addresses. And we were catering for that special mode by just installing one account with an IP number instead of a host name. And that is not needed by the majority of our users because they keep host name resolution on by default. And this was creating a backdoor in a way because people were maintaining their root at localhost, for example, but they would just forget about root at 127.0.0.1. So that can stay without a password, that can stay with an old password, with a weak password, whatever, and it's a great backdoor if you can get to it. As I mentioned, we introduced auto generation and expiration of passwords in 5.7. So now we have a way that to automatically expire your password via global policy or individually expire each individual user password. And then we are making good use of that possibility by marking the root account password that we generate during the installation as expired. So basically, the first time you log into your database, it will let you in, but the only command that you will be able to execute is set password. And then it will open itself. So that's how password expiration works with MySQL. We are also looking into using passwordless authentication. So for example, on Linux, there is this great way of actually using the socket connection to identify the OS account that's connecting to it. And that requires no password because you always get the username of the connecting user from a secure source. So we can leverage that through the MySQL pluggable authentication modules and just not even need a password when you install it. Okay, and for your information, since the RPM installers are not interactive, as far as I know, we also have the installers that are actually ask for a password. Because typically, well, with the RPM installation, you are supposed to not provide any options to it. So you just need to run it and then do something else for the interactive part, as far as I know. Okay, so SSL encryption. It's fully implemented again in this release candidate of 5.7, and the key material is generated at installation time. So whenever you install the RPM packages, it will put a number of certificates and keys. That is, it will generate CA certificate, a server certificate, and client certificates, provided that you don't have those installed already. Because a lot of people would upgrade from, say, 5.6, and they would have their key material there. We won't tamper with that. If we see that you actually have SSL set up, we will just leave it be. But if you don't, then it will do the necessary so that the server is SSL enabled. We generate self-signed certificate for the CA, of course, because, well, that's what can be done. And but we keep it valid for a good amount of time, which is, again, a better proposal than having no SSL encryption whatsoever. And of course, to have some sort of SSL encryption, you need at least a certificate and a key in the server. So that's the minimum to have SSL encryption. Of course, you can go into authentication as well, but that also supposes that you need to install a certificate and a key on the client, and well, configure the server to get it, but I believe it's a step too far for the default configuration. So we just create the client certificates. And that means that clients will actually start connecting via SSL. So whenever you upgrade to 5.7, all of your connections where you don't specify otherwise will start running over SSL. And we also have a way to force an SSL on the client side in 5.7. That turned out to somehow be a very popular security news recently. And we have had that fixed for quite some time in 5.7. Now we are considering backporting it to 5.6 even. So basically, before in 5.6, you can say at your client side that you can use SSL if it is available, but you have no way of saying, I would like to log out if there's no SSL. And that is what we fixed in 5.7. So now you can enforce that from both the client end and the server end. Server end, of course, was doing that from the very beginning. Okay, so security conscious package layout. I already mentioned that tests and demos are in a separate package. We also did this new directory to keep all SQL generated files. So the MySQL server will basically, the 5.7 server will create another directory in barlib to keep these files. We want to keep them outside of the database directory for obvious reasons. And we wanted to stay consistent with the CLinux policy, so we are creating another directory there. Okay, so something that's not security related, but really noteworthy. I really wanted to demonstrate that because that's the biggest kind of change as far as MySQL installation is concerned. We don't need the MySQL install DB anymore. So the server is now fully equipped to bootstrap itself, which was not the case until 5.7 pretty much. You need this extra binary, you needed a bunch of SQL scripts that were packaged and put in a strange directory. So you basically needed to start this MySQL install DB binary, which in turn would start the server process and then play the SQL files to it. And that was not very stable and not very platform independent. So what we did is we just well, deprecated that whole MySQL install DB binary and packaged all the needed SQL commands to bootstrap the database inside the server itself. So this is what needs to be changed in all the installation scripts. Basically, remove the references to that old binary and just use the server binary itself. So we have two modes for it. That's the important part here. It has the initialize mode, which basically creates the root with this expired password, which is pretty secure, has all the elements to counter our default password policy. And it also has the initialize insecure, because when this password is generated, the scripts run into additional difficulties of actually putting that generated password back to the server. So we cater for scripts and we provide this initialize insecure option, which basically leaves the root without a password, expecting that the script that is running that will set it. Okay, and again, MySQL install DB still works, but it will give you a deprecation warning, so look for one if you are using it. Okay, that's all I had about MySQL installation. Any other topics, any other questions that are of interest to you? I've been working with MySQL for quite some time, so I believe I can answer most. Anybody? No? Okay. I thank you for your attention then. You've been a great, quiet audience.